It's high pulls and pressing on the menu again today, and luckily I did not throw this session away by mistake like I did last week. So just that was already an improvement, and then I thought that I might top it up with a couple of extra kilos on the bar, so I went up to 55 kilos and did sets of 6. I like the setup from the floor a little more because I can get my hands wrapped in the right position, but I'm willing to compromise slightly as I can get the giant set in a more practical way. And the seated press felt good. I didn't notice any weird scapular movement on either phase. The concentric still goes up a little unevenly, and I do feel a bit of a tug inside the rotator cuff when initiating the press. So I think the two things are connected. And on curls, I went for 30 kilos instead of 35, which I think I can do for quite a decent amount of reps. It's because I'll be doing weighted chin-ups in 2 days, and I don't want to have any DOMs or any elbow tenderness. But yeah, it's crazy how I can still curl more than I can press, and I will be taking my time going up on the overhead press as I want to be on the much safer side of things. But boy, am I glad I don't feel any discomfort when I'm pressing these 30 kilos. I remember when 30 kilos wasn't even feasible, I couldn't even do one. So now that I can do sets of 8 without feeling any discomfort, just noticing a slight uneven bar path, it's okay, I'll take that. I think I want to be progressing these up until I can do sets of 10, maybe even 12 before going up to, 32.5, 35. I'll see how I feel. I'll probably have to experiment with both 32.5 and 35 and see how many I can do, and if I do not feel any pain there, and take it from there really. These rotator cuff injuries are so weird. I had almost exactly the same thing in my left shoulder last year, and in both instances I cannot really pinpoint what really created the problem to begin with. And then the pain lingered for about 6 months or so, and it basically went away by itself. I don't know if I progressively changed the way that I move my body to accommodate for the pain in order to not feel it anymore, and over time, while moving and pumping blood in there, the thing just healed itself. But yeah, I guess that the only thing that I can do is just not piss it off, and it's gonna go away if I am careful about that. So much for the anecdotal evidence-based advice. But anyways, these 3 exercises were the first block of the session. The focus was on getting nice and clean pulls and pain-free presses. A few pulls kind of ground against each other. I need to improve coordination to get them more smoothly paced, and the curls were just a cherry on top. I'm still glad that the form looked good. So that was a wrap on the first half of the session, let's call it that. Then I moved over to the more volume-oriented part where I was doing hip thrusts and neutral grip pull-ups, so some volume for the posterior chain and also for the upper back. And when I'm looking at this first hip thrust set, I'm getting small flashbacks of what I was just saying about high pulls, when some of these were not really properly controlled and I wasn't really able to keep them flowing in a smooth way. If I cannot manage to control the bar in a way that both sides touch the floor at the same time, then it starts throwing it off, goes left to right, and it's hard to control it from there. So on this second set, I was working on that, and also I kept my feet slightly closer toward me. If they are further out, I feel my hamstrings are working a bit more, and the glutes are not really getting as much engagement. I know that it's just a feeling, but this way I was also managing to go down more slowly and control the reps a bit more. So overall, I think that it's a good improvement on the first set. And I don't think that there is that much to say about the neutral grip pull-ups. They all looked good. Even looking at them from the front, I don't really see any movement side to side. I was really focusing on getting my back to work in there, engage the upper back, and really feel the lats contracting as I go up. I feel like this movement from starting from a slightly arched back and then going into slight of a hollow body position with my legs further out in front of me, it's a really efficient one, and I'm feeling the back all the way throughout. I only did 2 sets of these high repetitions pull-ups because the chin-ups are coming in a couple of days and I want to be ready for those. Ciao.